Back when I was in college as an undergraduate, I owned a 1968 Volkswagen Beetle. I loved that car. It was one of the best cars I've ever owned, and I still wish I had one today. But anyway, I was getting out of my car one day in the parking lot of my dorm when another student came up to me and said, "Hey, I like your car." And then he turned around and pointed to his Volkswagen Beetle that was about the same model. He said, "My name is Rick, but everybody calls me RC." RC ended up being one of my better friends in college. We just kind of bonded around Volkswagens. But the thing I remember and learned the most from my friend RC was how to sell donuts. You see, back in the early 1980s, if you bought 50 dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme, you could get them for $1 a dozen. RC somehow or another knew this fact and taught me how to start a donut selling business to make some extra cash. You see, you could fit exactly 50 boxes of donuts in the back seat of a Volkswagen Beetle. When RC introduced me to this concept, he had already been doing it for several weeks and had worked out several donut routes that he did each week. He would simply go into businesses and workplaces and say, "I'm a college student and just working my way through college, and would you like to buy some fresh donuts? They're only $2 a dozen." After RC had me ride with him on one of his routes and show me how to do everything, I just started doing the same thing. And pretty much every week after that, the rest of that semester at least, I worked the donut route I had created. I had it down to a science. I would call the donut shop the night before, order 50 dozen donuts, and tell them I would be there at 5 a.m. I would write a bad check for $50, then go work my route, and usually by 9 o'clock I had $100 in my pocket. I would go to the bank when it opened and deposit $50 to cover the check and pocket the rest. And usually I would make it to my first class by 9:30. When I think back about that experience of selling donuts, using my Volkswagen as a rolling donut shop, I am acutely aware of some of the wonderful lessons that have helped me immensely in my journey into private practice and owning a small business. So Volkswagens and donuts have taught me this: always be willing to seek and accept the help of others. You see, if RC had not shown me how or offered to help me with the problem of needing cash as a poor college student, I would not have had the success that I did with the little donut business. Always be willing to think outside the box and look for creative ways to do things and solving problems. Who knew a Volkswagen could be a donut shop? Be willing to do the hard stuff, even if it puts you outside your comfort zone. You see, I'm an introvert, and selling anything was not in my comfort zone. But I did learn to just offer something that people wanted, and it ended up not really having to sell anything. Be persistent and consistent. By making myself get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go pick up the donuts, to create a stream of income was totally driven by me. Learn to foster and develop relationships. It is the heart and soul of marketing anything. You have to have that face-to-face contact and be willing to tell your story. Probably the main reason people bought donuts from me was because they saw me consistently and knew I was just trying to make some income while going to college, not because they wanted donuts. When I look back at that time in my life and those cold mornings I would make myself get up and do the donut route, I'm so grateful that I pushed myself and allowed myself to go through those little struggles. So as you begin to grow your private practice, or any business for that matter, give yourself permission to think outside the box and draw on those unique life experiences that teach us so much. Enjoy the journey and learn from it.